Hello and welcome to the All Night Gamers Podcast, episode 224. Hi, hello, hi. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the show. Um, I am back in Huntsville, and I have a grill now.
Yeah, let's go.
Yay! Have you cooked
Man,
anything on it yet?
no. I had like just enough time to build it. This past weekend.
I got you.
We're probably gonna do some steaks or something on it, but I haven't really gotten that far yet. How are we doing
yeah.
this week, boys?
Okay.
It's
Another day in the life.
it's going. Oh,
I'm
It's-
tired, but I'm good.
Me
it's
too.
going. Fun, fun things. Not for the podcast, but there are things happening. It's going. It's been going.
Sounds
Well,
complicated.
Yeah, it's great. It's going great. Alex and I saw Thunderbolts.
oh
last
yeah,
night. That
yeah,
was
you
fun.
did. How was that?
Yeah. It was
Good.
good. It was good. Probably Alex, when was the last time we saw a Marvel movie in theaters? Spider-Man? That's-
No, I saw Guardians.
Oh yeah, you did. I did not see Guardians in theaters. It's been a hot minute since I saw Eternals when I was on the program. So
Dude, I don't even remember
that was
the last
four,
movie I saw in
3.5 years ago. Like it's been a hot minute. Wait, no, Spider-Man was after Eternals, wasn't it? So Spider-Man. Yeah, it's
There's no Way Home. That's the most recent one, right?
Yeah.
the most
I think
recent
that's
Spider-Man. Yeah,
I think that's the most recent Marvel I've seen in theaters.
yeah.
I think.
Dude, theaters are so expensive.
Overrated, dude. Yes.
They're so expensive.
When we went to go watch
Minecraft.
Minecraft, it
No.
was $70.
Yeah.
Cameron, the most recent one you probably saw was Across the Spider-Verse.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't actually see that,
that
one either.
I don't know if I
No,
count that.
No Way Home came out in 2021, and Across the Spider-Verse came out in 2020.
There's No Way Home before I don't. Time is an illusion.
There we
Real.
go.
Yeah.
Get rid of-
I don't count Across the Spider-Verse because that's not an MCU movie. So yeah, it's been a hot minute since I watched a Spider-Man movie.
Nope,
Honestly, it's or Marvel movie. It's been a hot minute since other than Minecraft, I think it's been a hot minute since I watched a movie in theaters. I'm still burned by Lightyear, I think.
Yeah.
That was not good.
You and I wouldn't
Yeah,
both.
watch that either.
It's not worth it. Don't watch
I know
it.
you. Well, yeah, I know because y'all told me about it. But
I saw movies in 2023 or something like that. You and I saw Mario and
Oh, we did see
Spider-Verse.
Mario. I don't know.
didn't
This
pay
is not
for
a
two
movie
of them.
podcast, though.
Yeah, I didn't pay for two of those. I got Guardians and Indie free.
Well, all right, jumping right into the news. GTA 6 got a new trailer and is also delayed for another year.
Well, more like always released it, but whatever.
It was never going to release on time, anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
who
be
are
so
we?
for real.
Like, we can't lie to ourselves. I wonder how many game companies waited for GTA 6's release date just to be hearing this. Be like, oh God, come on, man, we waited.
It's
probably a lot.
We're gonna move it to 2026. It'll be safe. No.
We'll probably see a few games announce move up to fall if they feel confident
Yeah, but like
that it was like already finished.
that's not gonna be the devs' choice. I'll tell you that right now. that's going to be a publisher, marketing or
I
CEO
said
saying it's not.
finished games.
That those games aren't finished. It doesn't matter that if they're coming out next year and decide to move up. They're not finished.
They could have gone gold and then just sat on them. Nintendo way.
Yeah, but I don't feel like most publishers can afford
I
to
mean,
do that.
I remember when Cyberpunk went gold, and that game was not finished.
Dude, that photo's still around
Of the tweet, or
of the team when it went gold.
oh,
Because there's like a guy in the photo. If I've got the right game. Oh, it might be. I might be getting confused.
I got permanently turned off of Cyberpunk because of like excuse me.
Cyberpunk went finished. Hold
The
on.
first time I played it, I got like very far. Well, not very far. I got probably like a quarter of the way through the story. Went into a room, fell through the world, died. The autosave, the
Respawned.
autosave had corrupted, and the only available save was to respawn me at the door to that room. Spawned
And
in, fell through the
continuously fall.
floor, died. Spawned in, fell through the floor, died. Spawned like just over and over. It was so atrocious, and I would have had to like restart the game. Which, granted, I wasn't like super far into it, but I sure as hell didn't want to restart it.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm done with this stupid game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Warner Brothers Games revenue drops 48% in Q1 of this year. That's pretty
Crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Half? From what? What happened?
Didn't they
Probably
cancel the upgrade for Hogwarts Legacy?
I don't know about
I mean,
that,
if
but
they
I
did,
was
but
thinking
like,
it also could have something to do with the absolute flop that was.
oh yeah, it was Suicide Squad.
Multiverses. Well, that too, but Multiverses was also Warner Bros.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
well,
It
they
could have
got
been.
rid of
It could have
that.
been a combo. I would say it could have been a combo move. Wombo combo.
Oh, it's also partially because they didn't release any new games this quarter. Um,
That does tend to damage making games on money. Wait,
You know what?
reverse
You
that.
got it.
You,
You got
you
it.
know what I meant. You know what I meant.
I believe in you, sir.
Mm.
um, Stardew Valley creator says that he might eventually make a Stardew Valley 2, but it's so much easier to just add more stuff to Stardew Valley than make a new game from scratch.
Yeah, he's realized that hard with Haunted Chocolatier.
Yeah, I mean, why would
Yeah.
you remake? Like, there's only so much you can change about Stardew Valley in a remake because the structure is going to be the same. The only thing you'd really
Not a
change is
remake,
like,
sequel.
or a sequel. Like, if you
And, I
keep the
mean,
same
tomato
aesthetic,
tomato, like you can't really, yeah. And he probably would, because that's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, if he wanted to do a sequel, he would need to change the aesthetic.
yeah.
Otherwise, just add it in.
And even then, like, Stardew Valley 2, you're gonna have to like, what can you change about Stardew Valley to make it better? I don't really
That you
think you
can't just
can.
add to the base game.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
least,
I don't know if that's a fair argument when games get sequels.
well, I consider Haunted Chocolatier, good God, uh, to be
Like a
basically
successor.
basically a sequel because it's kind of the same thing, but like now changing a lot of it. And so like if you make a Stardew Valley 2 with the knowledge that Haunted Chocolatier exists, there's not going to be a lot of new stuff in there that isn't just story, characters, and aesthetic. Like the raw gameplay is probably going to be mostly the same because, I mean, that's the way it is. And at that point, why not just release DLC or something? Because you're really not going to
Yeah,
change the
second
game
town
much.
DLC.
Yeah.
It's basically Stardew Valley 2, but I'm putting it in the first game because nobody wants to
I
buy
mean,
it.
yeah, like if you think about it, like Harvest Moon, like there's a million Harvest Moon games. You do the same thing in all of them, though. Like each
True.
one has a unique feature or two, and the story and characters are different, but it's the same gameplay loop. So my thought is the same for like Stardew Valley 2.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like kind of a
You
bummer.
don't. Yeah, you don't really need it per se.
And like
I don't
if
know.
you played one Harvest Moon, you've played them all.
Yeah. I don't. You remember the
I
farming
tried to play
Nintendo
Harvest Moon on
Direct?
the emulator. It did not work well.
Why? Because it was on an emulator, or because it's Harvest Moon?
Because I just don't like Harvest Moon. I mean, I played it like well after I'd already played Stardew, and so like,
Oh no, Harvest Moon, you got to be dedicated to the farming sim because there's a lot of work on your
yeah,
part. Stardew Valley makes
I
it
I was just,
easy.
I don't know, I was looking at it, I was like, I would just rather have Stardew, honestly.
Harvest Moon was like the first video game that made me start writing things down. I'd like read wikis and write as much stuff down as I could to bring to school so I could play it at school and have like a
Is
reference
it
when I
just
didn't
the
have
fact that
internet
you had to
access.
have, you had to like do specific, plant specific crops in order to like do well in the game, or like, because I
No,
never
it's
really
all the same stuff
figured
that
out what the hell
Stardew
I was supposed
has,
to do.
except Stardew has nice notebooks and in-game stuff to track what things people like, how many hearts you have with them,
Mm,
what all that stuff is, and like also,
and Harvest
Shift
Moon does
Tab
not.
exists and everyone has an internet cable device, but in 2004 I had a GBA and a dinky computer that could go to like gbatemp.net and
GBA in a dream.
I have to read like it's way harder to figure out what people like. It's way harder to figure out recipes. Um,
Yeah,
there's just like a lot of stuff. Stardew Valley holds your hand in comparison to a lot of Harvest Moon games, um, which is
yeah,
not a fault of it. I think farming sim games kind of need to do that to be fun. But Harvest Moon was before the time where people figured that out, so you just kind of have to raw dog it and really love farming, because otherwise you're not going to want to put in the effort to figure it out.
yeah.
I think it's hand holding thing that you've described. I know why it's ballooned more. Not that farming sims weren't popular, but why
But
it's got more of a casual market for Stardew,
Yeah,
where it
Stardew
sells like
basically caused
50
a resurgence.
million copies.
put simply, old Harvest Moon games require you to create your own almanac. Stardew Valley
Yeah,
just gives it to you. So, if you love farming
gotcha.
and you love almanacs, well, you're in luck. But if you don't,
I love farming and also almanacs.
They're like my two favorite things. That's crazy.
Crazy.
let's see. Microsoft wins the FTC appeal challenging the $69 billion Activision Blizzard deal. I'm not shocked. Government like entities have like no backbone to control business anymore because that's the kind of dystopia we're barreling towards. So I didn't think
Mhm.
the FTC was going to do anything in the first place because, especially once the EU gave a thumbs up on it, there's no way. The
Yeah.
FTC barely has any power as it stands.
Also, if the EU doesn't stop it, like they're the ones that always do like the strong consumer friendly stuff. So
Yeah, they
if they
care.
if they approve it, it's gonna pass.
Um, EA suggests it has no plan to raise game prices yet, despite others doing so.
We'll see.
You know what? Honestly, if anybody was going to raise their game prices, I hope it's EA because one, that I hope that means that less people buy sports games day one, and two, nothing's going to change with my relationship with EA because I only buy sports games that are like 5 years old for like $1.
Like,
So
I'm gonna play a sports game. I'm not gonna. buy it for 60 or 70 though. Like it's a
Also,
no
I don't
bueno.
believe this for a second anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're trying to save face for now because everyone associates them, as one of the worst in the industry.
That's like a guy sitting in a room full of empty Go-Gurt containers going, I have no plans to eat any more Go-Gurt.
Crazy.
It's EA. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 source code isn't actually lost, reveals former Interplay founder, despite orders to destroy all assets. Did we talk about this? Was Fallout destroyed? Or supposedly?
Supposedly the original
I
two sort of don't have their source code anymore, which was why it would be really hard to
Oh, I
bring them forward.
see. It turns out
I don't
Interplay
know.
co-founder and programmer Rebecca Heineman kept copies of the source code for Fallout 1 and 2. In 1993, Interplay published a CD collecting one game it published in each of the previous 10 years, including Battle Chest, Bard's Tale, Lords of the Ring Volume 1, and the original Wasteland. Heineman put the anthology together using her own copies of the source code of those games, except for Wasteland. When she went looking for it, she discovered others weren't putting as much effort into backups. So apparently she just made it a quest to snapshot everything.
Interesting.
I asked for the source code and was given a blank stare. I went to the COO's office and he gave me a cardboard box that looked like it was run over by a truck, and it had some of the source code on floppy disk. I ended up contacting
wow.
friends at EA to get a copy of the source code we sent them when Wasteland shipped. Yeah, so she literally had a snapshot of every game on CD-ROM and just took them all with her when she left. Man, if I did that, I'd be put in jail. I will make my personal collection of everything this business does and take it with me when I leave.
You see, based on legal rights, because there's that guy who owns he doesn't own what's on it, but he owns the VHS for the first Super Bowl. Like he owns the physical container, but he doesn't actually. He legally does not own what's on the tape.
Schrodinger's VHS.
Cannot wait. Isn't it? He can't play it,
He
right?
can't.
Like
Yeah, he can't play
he's
it
not
for other
allowed to
people.
show it to anybody or himself even.
I know. I think he's allowed to watch it himself. He just can't.
He can't reproduce it
Show it to.
or show it to
Yeah.
other people. Yeah.
Which
It's
I
an
think is
only
what
copy
this
of
would
it,
be.
which is insane.
She owns the floppy disk, but can't.
Yeah, I can't do anything with what's on the disc.
Yeah.
Um,
The last time I heard about the first Super Bowl thing is he was offered a certain amount of money, but like he told him no because what the tape is worth way more since he has the first.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sum of money better be millions of dollars, because I literally think you could auction that for that much. There's somebody crazy enough to buy it.
especially with it being the only copy.
Yeah.
It was the
Okay, look at how much Pokemon cards go for, right? Like especially the
whatever
older
the Super.
This is
Especially
older than
now,
those.
dude. People are like fiending for Pokemon right now, more than I've ever seen in like.
Yeah, but the NFL has fans that are old people that are so rich. The money in football is way
Yeah.
more than the money in video games. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that there's someone
especially
Oh
willing to
yeah.
pay $1 million for a Pokemon card. I know they're out there, but there's probably 100 people willing to pay $1 million for that
look,
VHS tape.
That's
look,
fair. That's fair.
with the VHS tape is the type of people that can afford to live in like Golden Oaks,
The people that can afford to go to
multi-million
the
dollar
Super Bowl every
houses.
year, those people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not just like that little nosebleeds. No, they stand in them boxes, dude. Like
Yeah, like
they're just there for that. They don't care who's on the field. They're just there.
the yearly
This
discussion
is
of
like
how
watching
expensive
games.
Super Bowl tickets are does not pertain to them. They don't really care.
Mm-mm.
They're going anyway.
Yeah.
Agreed.
To be rich.
Real.
Let's see,
Like
tech.
So
Are
real.
you good?
they the last time I'd heard about it, because it's been a few years, it was whenever the NFL ran like every Super Bowl, like in hyping up.
Yeah.
So they ran the few minutes of footage they had for the first one, because they don't want to give the guy what the tape's actually worth.
That's a crazy game of chess.
They're
Tech
just waiting for him to
experts.
die off at this point. It's fine.
Oh, dude, I'd put that in my will. There's no way the NFL's getting that. I'd give it to my kids in my will, and I say, if anything ever happens to you, break this tape, burn it. They're either gonna give me the money, or we're just never gonna see it.
Nobody will have it.
I'm gonna be that person, and I don't care.
True. I would.
First, I mean, how do you even move it though? Because you don't want to leave it on VHS; it's gonna rot.
You get like a Dazzle or an Elgato or something. Like the older ones that connect to the composite cables and connect up a VHS player to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also
they make those
there's
combo
also machines
boxes.
for it.
Well, back in the day, you could buy, VHS and DVD combo boxes, and usually they offered the ability to just direct record VHS to
Yeah.
DVD, and then once you have a DVD, all you need is a drive. But the Elgato is probably a cleaner, modern solution because nobody uses DVDs anymore either.
True.
Anyway, tech experts say that Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered's camera breaks the longer you play and eventually crashes when loading a save and calls for an emergency
about right.
patch.
Interesting.
It wouldn't be the Elder Scrolls without some of this.
Yeah, thank you, Todd
Massive
Howard.
game-breaking bugs, dude.
There's been a lot of hubbub about Nintendo adding the arbitration clause to their. Oh no, there's two things. Yeah, so one, Nintendo apparently reserves the right to break your console following unauthorized use, which is something Sony also apparently has in their clause. And also, Nintendo added stuff about arbitration into their new user agreement. And for those of you that don't know, arbitration just means it's a way of companies saying you can't legally put me in trouble for something, even if because you agreed to it beforehand, which is Nintendo trying to weasel out of the Joy-Con drift situation, saying if it drifts again, you can't clash action suit us. But the funny thing is, so many companies have so many companies have these arbitration clauses, and they're not even legal. I can't remember. There was one other. I can't remember what company was doing it, but
Discord?
yeah, they had one. But isn't that more to like recording or something?
Not sure.
It depends. Like arbitration clauses aren't inherently illegal, but they are illegal when you try to say like, if I do something illegal, you can't prosecute me for it. Which like at first sight, if you sign a contract that says that, it sounds like you might be screwed. But if any government heard you doing that, they would be like, whoa, you can't just sign contracts to not follow the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I bet even my apartment might have an arbitration clause in the lease I signed. I can't remember.
Oh, I'm sure
Everybody
mine does.
uses them, but like, it's so scummy. I hate that that's just a common practice in business, and also that we just like let a lot of companies use
just
arbitration
can.
clauses when they're illegal. Like it's just a scare tactic.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's like I want to be mad at Nintendo, but really it's more just like I'm mad at
Everyone.
corporation.
That's surreal.
Yeah. Speaking of Nintendo, the Switch 2 has a feature now that seems to be getting super popular in devices because we're understanding how batteries work. The whole thing where you can just stop charging your device around 90% or so in order to keep the battery alive. Different devices have different ways of doing it. There's a million flavors. The Steam Deck has a new mode now where at 80% you can just automatically switch to pass-through mode. My both my Windows laptops, like my work laptop and my personal one, have smart charging features like this now, where it'll charge to full, but
Stop
then
at like
it'll let
95
it
or something.
yeah it's I think it charges to full and then it will discharge, like it'll stop charging and let it actually deplete a little before charging again, so it's not continuously charging it. There's a million flavors
Yeah.
of it.
I think my work laptop does something like that because it only ever gets up to 95.
Um,
It's an interesting thing that it, I don't feel like companies usually make a big deal out of it, though. So I'm kind of surprised that Nintendo's even bothering mentioning it.
Well, they're bothering mentioning it because it's just something that they can put on the Nintendo Today app. They have a month of days to useless
To
information to
burn.
fill, so
But
they got to come up with something.
No, but guys, they've already used the HDMI cord, 3D
Yeah, that's-
HDMI cord, guys.
Oh, the
Oh my
I like
God.
actually I cracked even harder at the SD cards because
Yeah,
they both had SanDisk and Samsung, so there was like two different models of just micro SD cards. What are we doing?
it's insane.
Let's see. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond opening cutscene. Did that come out? What?
No, it's wait.
Alex, help me out
the
here.
opening cutscene got released by Nintendo.
Oh,
Okay.
that's crazy.
Wow, I just totally missed that.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's from Nintendo Treehouse. They just released a
Yeah.
clip of it without, and they took the commentary out. Oh, I don't want to watch. I started
Yeah,
to watch it, and I was like, wait, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see
No,
any
but
Fire
it is.
Report stuff.
I saw it on Treehouse, and they spoke over the entire time. So I guess it's good they released a no commentary version.
Yeah. Power World had to remove game features because of the Nintendo lawsuit.
Yeah, well, that somehow made everyone forget about them copying like Hollow Knight. So everyone's on Nintendo bad again for suing this indie company. It's like, yo, we're just bashing on them for stealing from another company. That like,
It's different people complaining, Cameron.
yeah, tomato, tomato.
Also, I
I
mean,
think it's the same company.
if you're reading it on Reddit, it's going to be complaints no matter who it is.
Correct.
But I don't know. I hate having to talk about this because it's constantly the battle of like screw the big corporation, but also like
Don't
they're not
like
wrong, but also why are we fighting copyrights over game mechanics? Like I don't know, this all just feels
Yeah.
really lame. I understand what's going on and why, and I don't want to put them in a good light because I don't like large companies, and I don't want to put them in a good or like a bad light because I mean they do own it. So really, I'm just like in a melancholy middle ground of I would rather just not play any games anymore at all now because everything sucks. I hate reading headlines like this.
Of course, the oh well, I also think Palworld is just kind of like how I've read how they're doing it. They're taking they're making it worse than they have to on purpose.
Like for dramatic effect?
Just to get people on their side.
Yeah, that's. I think we're saying the same thing. Like they're
Yeah.
putting on a show, so it'd be like, oh, poor me.
Because they
Oh,
took
for
out
me?
the
They took out the
they took up
animation.
no,
Oh,
they got rid.
right.
So this is the flying one, but there was the Pokeball one
Yeah.
Yeah.
where they had the spear, and they took out the Pokeballs, and it's much harder to fight now. Because they're just like, oh no, it just spawns right next to you and doesn't target what you were gonna
Like that's
would have thrown a
not what
Pokeball
was
at.
that's not what the thing said though. It just complained that you weren't using or you were using Pokeball style, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just sucks all around, and I'd like, just bad taste in my mouth. It's a real bummer.
I mean,
Um,
it was like very similar to Pokemon though.
yeah, that's why like
Like
I
those
don't
were like
want to
open
hate
world
Nintendo
Pokemon,
for it because it's like they're in the right here, but also like I
but
hate having to
also like
fight video game companies for game mechanics.
yeah,
So I guess I'm just
it's
not
kind of
gonna
silly, but
play.
exactly, yeah.
I'm just gonna not even touch it. Much better news. Washington State passed a right to repair bill for electronic devices. That is fantastic news.
Interesting.
I can't
Which
believe.
is going to be interesting for Nintendo's you can't tamper with your console. I guess it's interesting for everybody. You can't tamper with your console or phone or whatever.
Yeah. And like I don't
And the
know.
tractors we talked about before.
Yeah. Um, the one thing for all electronic devices that should be right to repair is batteries.
Yeah.
There should be no reason why. Like, we used to design devices
Phones.
with a
Yeah.
battery compartment, and we still couldn't get to anything else. So, like, if
Yeah.
you're picky about what we can and can't have access to, one, that's a losing battle because crackheads will find their way into anything, and I'm one of
Mhm.
them. But two, like, I'm holding a DSi right here. There
Battery.
used to be a battery compartment. I can't get into anything else in this console without several hours of effort and a lot of headache, but I can get to the battery in 10 seconds. That's all I need, because that's the only thing that's going to go bad.
Yeah.
Because if anything else
Fair.
goes
Most of
bad, the
the
console's fucked
time, that's what
anyways.
you really want to.
Yeah.
That's not. You could probably fix it, but if you the basic thing you just want to access is the battery.
I mean, look at look at all the Wii U's, right? Like a lot of
And
them
you
are
can
like
easily
bulging now because the batteries
access
are
the
fucking
battery
old.
because I replaced ours.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's just common. We were just talking about the battery maintenance thing. That's common knowledge. Batteries go bad.
Yeah.
They wear down over time, and they wear a lot quicker than anything else on the
Especially older,
device.
especially older batteries that you know we didn't know how to properly take care of them and let them die constantly, and then all of the things that happen.
Yeah. Um, and lastly, before we get into Collector's Corner, Nintendo began working on Switch 2 shortly after release of the Switch 1. New Genki lawsuit papers reveal. This is not news.
This is
What do you think the hardware team was doing after the Switch 1 launch? Jerking off?
getting paid to do nothing.
Obviously, that's what
Yeah,
some people believe.
that's like we talked about this when the Switch 2 rumors started really spooling up a few years ago. Uh,
It's
but like, why are
they're
we discussing this? Of course, Nintendo's making another console. Like, what do you think they're doing? They're not just smoking cigs all day.
say shiggy.
I mean, they might be smoking cigs all day, but they're also developing something.
You want me to, bro?
It's
No, you smoke pipes. It's different.
That's fair. It is different.
I was gonna say reject modernity and embrace tradition, but I guess pipes are tradition.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I don't know.
No, but it's just like, why did anybody expect they weren't immediately working on it?
That's like
I mean,
saying
'cause, like,
Ford's not developing a new F-150.
oh
What else are
no,
they? What
whatever.
else are they doing?
What are they doing? Like, well, it's like, tangentially gaming related, right? A couple months ago when Disney announced that Space Ranger Spin of Magic is being massively upgraded, it's like, this is a 27-year-old ride. The only reason they would have decided to do this upgrade, compared to, like, crashing it completely or focusing anywhere else in the park,
Hmm.
is because they had Lightyear. Lightyear gave the attractions team some money to be able to be like, hey, if Lightyear does well, you need to retheme the attraction and upgrade it. Lightyear fucking bombed, but they were still approved the money. Fucking upgrade it. You're already developing it. Like, they're not just gonna waste the time, right? Like, oh, yeah, you're our research and development team. Go sit on your thumbs.
Okay.
Okay, I love getting paid for free. Yeah, no work. Excellent.
Real.
Like, I don't know, but
All right, on to the Collector's Corner, the weekly segment where we go around and talk about the games we've been playing, the games we've been buying, good things, bad things, and the like. We spin a wheel to determine who goes first. So let's see who we got this week. Oh yeah, baby. I'm up. Back in the winners column.
Boo.
I was gonna say,
Boo.
I
is
would
the lack
really
of
I would
super
really
going
just like to go
affect
second.
things?
I would like to go second or third sometimes. I really would. I don't like this first or last mentality. I am not Ricky Bobby. Anyway, what have I done? So I continue to play a lot of games in Cedar. I've played decent amount of Earthbound. I've played Forza Horizon 5. I've played Pokemon Heart Gold a little more. Um, I played Mario Kart DS. I played the game of the week with you guys. I played. Oh yeah, I got Donkey Kong Country Returns HD a while ago. I forgot to mention that because I found it for $30. Walmart was doing a thing. I think they're just trying to get
That's
rid of
pretty
copies
good.
because
Yeah.
that game is so worth $30 to $40. It's a great
Oh,
game.
absolutely.
I was
Yeah, I'm a bit
adamant about
jealous.
that. We already discussed the $60 BS, but yeah, I found it at like 35, so I was like, you know what? Okay, yeah. And I've been playing a lot of that, and I'm glad I got it because it's just a way to play. Now I don't have to either play Donkey Kong using motion controls or on a 3DS, which I love my 3DS, but
Sometimes you
uh,
just don't want to play on that.
it's well, we talked about this too. Like it hurts after a while, and like if it's Pokemon or something, a lot of times you can sit it down and tap on the screen sometimes, and like all that stuff. But like Donkey
Kong is
Kong
constant movement.
it's a slow-paced 2D platformer. So it get lots of hand cramping.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit upset we didn't get a somehow run it on the Switch, like an adapter.
Yeah.
They could still do it. They could still do it. Give
They
me
could
a
do it,
3DS
and
adapter for Switch 2.
highly
Um,
Be
doubtful
cool,
they did,
Nintendo.
but I'd be very happy.
yeah, I mean, it would be cool. Definitely not happening. Also, could you
Yeah.
imagine if they did that, the 3DS used market? I mean, that market's already horrible.
Would-
It's already awful.
Yeah.
Um,
Miserable.
Anyway, I played some more Kirby Planet Robobot. Um,
Nice.
I think there was, man, I don't even know. I built a grill. Um, oh yeah, I bought that humble bundle of the sim games because I kept staring at it, and then it got brought up yesterday. I think when we were playing more Monster Hunter, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do want that. Um, and it's only
Wait,
30.
what sim games?
The
A bunch
Tycoon
of
Titans one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's the Tycoon.
Oh, the one we were talking about last week, right?
It's $13. It comes with a bunch of different Tycoon games. It's got Farm Manager, which speaks my language, and it's also got Espresso Tycoon, which speaks Jules' language, and it's only $13 for like a bunch of games, so it's a pretty good deal.
Nice.
Um,
It'll be ended before the podcast comes out.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully you don't hear that and think, man, I'd really be into that, because too bad.
Crazy.
I can't help you, man. I hope if I could reach out to those people sooner, I would. Um, I played a decent amount of RuneScape, but I don't know if I talked about. I think that's kind of really 2 weeks ago. I haven't really talked about it all that much. Um, I decided to buy another month because it had been a while, and I don't know. Y'all know how I am. I do my
You
1 month of grind twice a year.
yeah, you mentioned you were kind of letting it play out, see how if they bring it back, then you're definitely done. But since they backtracked, you're gonna give them another shot
Yeah, and like
because
I don't know.
you want the grind. You
Yeah,
yearn for the mines.
I do yearn for the mines. I'm trying
Yearn
to
for the
catch
mines.
monkfish. I finally unlocked monkfish as a fishing
Nice.
thing, but I need 100 quest points to get to the location that you catch monkfish at, and I do not do quests in RuneScape. So it's time I finally grow up and be a man and start questing. I've got like a bunch more I got like 14 more quest points or something I need, but I've done like a half dozen
I mean,
quests in the past week or so, so that's been pretty cool.
nice. You have since it's RuneScape Classic, you have access to like Romeo and Juliet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ones that were removed in the modern version,
I'm
so
usually
called.
too much of a noob to understand the memes on r/2007 scape, but someone posted a meme about the quest One Small Favor, which is a pretty complicated quest that I did like 2 days before I saw it, and I was like, I finally
Ah,
understand something. I know what
finally for
this
once.
is. But yeah, and
It's like a bunch of fest quests, right? It's not just like
yeah,
something.
it's called One Small Favor because the joke is that you have to do one small favor for one person, and but in order to do that, you need something from another person, and they won't do that thing for you until you do them one small favor, repeat ad
Giant
nauseum
fetch quest.
for about a dozen cycles, and then you eventually finally can give somebody something, and then you have to backtrack all the way back, and it's like all over the map, too. But anyway, so I've been doing that. And that's about it. It's really the rest is the house is almost fully empty of Jacob's stuff, so anything that I've been holding off on cleaning is gonna kind of really kick into gear at the end of this week. Got new luggage for our trip in a few weeks there. Once we get back from the trip, it'll be moving. So right now it's kind of trying to line everything up so that the next 2 months of our lives aren't incredibly
Hell,
hellish, only slightly
it's
hellish.
mostly hell.
Yeah, only a little bit. I understand we're not going to do it perfectly, but gotta.
It's just moving, which is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, always is.
All right, let's see who's up next. Kyle, you're up.
All right, but I honestly have not done a ton in terms of like gaming this week. I played a little bit of the game of the week on my own because I was not here whenever everyone was playing together. Definitely my bad. Um, I am currently playing a game called Vellum, which is a roguelike that I got earlier today, based on like ink and writing and like color versus like illiteracy and darkness, kind of. I don't really know how it's
Interesting.
like. I don't really know what the vibe they're going for is, but it is reminiscent of kind of like an Epic Mickey sort of deal where it's like,
I vibe with that.
yeah, it's like, you know, ink and color versus like shitty, not like color hating things. I don't know.
You're dancing around a lot right now. I'm gonna be honest with your description. What do you mean color hating
Yeah,
things?
you know what?
I'm sorry I asked. Don't
They're
respond to that.
racist.
Don't
They're
answer that
racist.
yet.
They're racist. They're racist. um, yeah, it's fun. I've been playing World Box, which is like a game where you play as like a god of a fantasy thing. You have like different creatures and abilities that you can like give those creatures, and then whenever they get like out of control, you can drop nukes on their head. It's kind of fun. I don't know. It's very time wasty, but it's fun. Um, I played Celeste after the podcast last week because we were talking about it for the ending discussion. Um, so that was fun. I played probably hour and a half, 2 hours of that.
Nice.
And I think
Has everybody bought their copy of Celeste for the week?
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
I
we were at
forgot.
daily. I thought we were
Did you pray
daily
today?
copies, dude.
Did you pray today? I also also after the podcast last week, I played more Lego Hobbit. I finished the first two. I finished the first one while we were doing podcast, and I finished the second level after podcast. So I've done the first two levels of Lego Hobbit. And I believe that's it for games. In terms of um, outside of games, hold up. I can turn on uh my webcam to show off my cloak. I got a cloak for Ren Fair. It looks super freaking cool. Weak, but I don't know if y'all saw. Why is it frozen?
It's not frozen.
You're not frozen.
You're definitely moving.
Grant and
Okay.
Cameron are spinning
Grant,
for me, but I can see you moving.
I would say both Grant and Cameron are frozen. Hold up, let me.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
not moving.
shift tab and go back.
I
I'm
see
moving now.
everybody just fine.
Yeah.
Cameron's moving.
Interesting.
Grant is
Failed to
spinning.
start call.
Well, spinning is different than frozen.
No, well, he was frozen and now he's just spinning. Anyway, whatever. Let me grab the cloak. It's right here. I have to find like the top. Okay, here we go. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Let me take my headset off real quick.
You look like a Sith.
There we go. I got my cloak on. It's got these like really cool like um it's not like a brooch. I don't know what the hell they're called, but got like
Class.
a little yeah, clasp, I guess. It's not really a
Will you
clasp
go
either,
back to
but
standing menacingly for a minute?
it's because I'm in a black shirt, isn't it? But look, if I put the hood on, the hood completely swallows my head. Look at this. Hold up, shit.
Wait,
I'm
hold on,
taking
hold
my
on,
headset off real quick.
hold on.
Did you pray today? Yeah, You can't really tell on the oh shit, I took my headset off again. Can't really tell on the camera, but it's green on the outside and brown on the inside. It's like super soft and fuzzy on the inside. So it might be a little bit hot whenever I actually go to Ren Fair this weekend, but
Here, Kyle,
um
put back up the hood and do this.
oh wait, hold up, I gotta
You can do your
reclasp
fashion
it.
show
Give me a
after the
sec.
podcast.
I was like, we can do this after the podcast, but I got
Hanging like
this.
one of your French girls.
Real, hold up, let me undo it so I can actually take the stupid thing off. Eh. But yeah, it's super comfortable, and even after Ren, well, not only am I gonna wear this to Ren Fair and then probably wear it to subsequent Ren Fair-esque things, but
Well, it
that will
costs a lot.
definitely.
I'd hope you're going to use it more than once.
Oh yeah, no, I'm 100% using it like the entirety of the way through summer. It's gonna be my blanket. It's gonna be my robe. It's everything. It's so soft and comfy. Um, and then, oh shoot. Well, I'm trying. I don't have much cord here. Right there on that table, right here.
Leatherworking?
Yeah, I'm making a uh, pipe roll for Ren Fair. It'll hold 2 pipes, um, some tobacco, a lighter, some matches, a match striker, my check tool, which is like this little thing. It has a tamper and a little scoop and what's called an aerator, which basically just like digs out really small, fine pieces of tobacco that are stuck in the middle of the bowl. It's got like this little strap here, which I'm planning to use as like a little uh, pipe cleaner holder. And then it has this thing that I made, which is like a little bowl thing. It's got 2 rivets right here on either side. And then it's like a little bowl. You can set it on the table and like put a pipe in it like that. You can fill the pipe and it'll catch anything that like falls out, and then you can use it as a funnel because it is only riveted on 2 sides. You can use it as a funnel and like pour back in what you don't use. So I thought it was kind of clever. The whole thing, so like obviously from what I showed you, like I haven't fixed any of it. They're all just like pieces that I've cut out. Like this is gonna be the pouch for it. Like they're all just pieces that I've cut. Um, and I have to um, probably what I'm gonna do once we finish talking about podcasts. I might even do a little bit of it during podcast, but I want to kind of wait till after because I have to use a hammer for it. Um, but I have to start putting stitching holes so that I can start stitching the whole thing together and making it actually um, look nice. So that's what I've mainly been working on and getting and spending money on is um, leather because leather is not cheap. I
You got
also
that right.
made I also made this leather thong. It's gonna go on
Huh?
my. You heard me.
Excuse
You
me?
heard me. It's actually it's for me. It's for me. What can I say? It's for a staff that I'm making. I cut down
Oh.
the tree at my parents' place. That was the thing that Cooper sent y'all of me shaving the bark off. Well, not shaving, but pulling the bark off. Um, that is going to be my little wizard staff um, for my costume. So I'm gonna go see how it's turned out so far tomorrow. It should hopefully be substantially dry, and I will be able to continue on with that. But I haven't done a whole lot of gaming. I have done a lot of other assorted and sundry stuff, though. So I think that's me. I have like a whole box of leatherworking stuff right here that is kind of daunting me a little bit, but
Hmm.
it's like I can show real quick. This whole box right here, except for my phone, is like all leatherworking stuff. I got like adhesive. This is a steel square, a wooden mallet, a leather like rotary leather punch, some scissors, and then like a whole bunch of inside that box like a whole bunch of rivets, some wax thread, like artificial sinew wax thread, a whole bunch of other like punches and different tools, um,
So
and
you're a leather worker,
yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
I like to. Yeah,
He's
it's really fun.
he's
I
I
like
getting the
used to,
craft
leatherworking.
and skill up. That's what I'm hearing.
I remember doing leather working and
You say what?
scouting. It was kind of fun to do.
Yeah, well, that's how I originally did leatherworking, and then, but like most of the leatherworking I did in Scouts was like different kits. This is my first like
Yeah, this is the
real
real
just
deal.
dive.
Yeah.
This is my first real dive into just straight up getting some leather and turning it into a project. And honestly, it's a lot of work. Like I had to think a lot about how I was going to set up like the way that it looks and everything. But honestly, I really like it so far. Like it's been super fun to try to, problem solve and put it together so far. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's see who's gonna be last. Cameron's last. Let's go, Alex. You're up.
Oh.
Okay. I played a bit of Marvel Rivals, some more Claire Obscura. The game of the week with y'all. Cameron and I went and saw Thunderbolts, as we mentioned. It was really good. It deserves all the hype it's getting. Um, Kojima liked it.
Well, that's good.
He posted a review. And you can always tell if he actually likes the movie because he'll put paragraphs about what he liked about it. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't, he just puts like, I saw this movie. But there's like one movie he just only posted the poster without even saying he saw it. So he must have hated that one. We went to the parks with Megan. We rode Toy Story Mania. And Cameron and I managed to get Cameron the score of the hour because it reset.
Mm.
But it helped for a
Yeah.
bit, at least the cars we could see. Because we could see their scores. Like, and nobody bumped out the hourly score. I also bought your little Tycoon bundle thing that you bought.
Oh, nice.
Because I think Played Up will be a good game of the week if I can run it.
Oh yeah, I've totally forgot it even came with Plate Up. That's makes things
Yeah.
easy.
For the $13, I think that's about what Played Up costs. So
Yeah, well, I got played up on Steam before that happened. I think it was like about uh 12 or 13, so it probably
yeah,
is about the full price of what you got for the
so
entire bundle.
exactly. Played Up plus more. The
Yeah.
coffee shop game looks fun. I don't think I can run that one though. It's got 3D models. I think my laptop will catch fire.
Just a little bit.
But your laptop catches fire on
Just
like Among Us and golf.
Damn.
dang, I feel called out.
You should.
Well, you refuse to get a new one, so you should feel called out.
Um,
Also, real quick, I would like to point out Cooper said he'd be back at 8:15. It is now 8:46.
yeah, I'm wondering if he's like, I'm not showing up.
He probably did, honestly.
It sounds like it was a hectic evening, so I'm not gonna hold it against him.
Yeah.
Some
It's
days it
okay,
just
I'll do it for you.
it'd be like that. Yeah, just morph into Cooper for a second.
Exactly.
We had like spent like the whole day in Birmingham, and then we got news about a relative,
Yeah.
and then I guess he got dragged with Haley for this, and they're probably getting dinner,
Well, that
because
makes sense. They had a late lunch. That was the
Okay.
which
big
more than
time
likely
they-
means they're doing a late dinner.
Mm,
Oh well. Well, hey Coop, if you're listening to
Damn
this
it.
in the future, we missed you.
yeah. We only give you so much crap because we miss you on the show.
I mean,
give him
I
crap 'cause it's
personally
fun
can't
doing
stand
crap.
him. Yeah, I can't stand him. I cannot wait. He it literally is going to listen to this. I bet in like a year or two, and I just be like, bro, what the hell?
Real.
Anyway, um, was that it? You have anything else, Alex?
Unless I'm forgetting things, I
Okay.
think that's it. I mean, I went to work for 3 weeks,
Whoopee.
and it was bad.
Yay! I also went to work. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're just gonna do more, I feel. Get a job to actually respond to me that isn't, oh, we went with the other person. We're not even interviewing you. Thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
speaking of Alex, Disney dropped an engineering research and development job today for associate.
Cool.
All right.
Real quick
Yeah, what
before
you-
you go, one more thing to add to mine. I got these little things. Oh, they're like
Books.
they're like tiny. Well, you can't really see. They're tiny little passports.
Ah.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint over them with black paint, and then take like probably a gold or a green or something like that. I may do like brown on the under like as a base color instead of black, and do like a different color on top of that. Why is my camera not? Whatever. I'm just gonna be blurry. Do a different color on top that like complements, and make it look like little spell tomes, and I'm gonna make
Yeah.
earrings out of them for my costume.
Nice.
So
That's
that way
gonna be cool.
I can have my whole fit will be themed.
Fair.
That will also be my first foray into like jewelry making, but luckily one of the people that I'm going with has done it a ton and is very good at it. Like she's made tons of jewelry, and I've thought it was like actually professionally made, and she was like, "No, I made that." I was like, "Okay, great." So I won't be completely by myself on that one.
Cool. All right. Anyway,
All right. My turn. Okay, what have I done? Played a lot of Earthbound. I'm in the desert. Well, I was in the desert. I couldn't figure out what to do. Asked the hint guy. He's like, "You need to go talk to the museum curator back in Foresight." I'm like, right.
Hmm.
The curator in Foresight, like Foresight's curator. Yeah. So I got the fifth sound stone lyrics. Um,
Huh? Four sides 4.
no, it said this was the fifth location because Jeff's thing is a fourth.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah. So making decent progress on my way through. I still despise the inventory system. If they ever remake Earthbound, I need the gear to not fucking take up inventory spaces. Key items, please. I'm begging.
you shouldn't have
We
gotten sucked into an RPG on the Super Nintendo.
especially
Sign of the
one,
times.
especially one as antiquated because like Mario RPG doesn't have this.
But
like,
Mario
it's-
RPG
but
is
Mario RPG
basically
isn't-
baby's first RPG.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like Final Fantasy Mystic
a-
Quest
well,
or
it's
anything,
also-
but it's
it's also Square.
yeah.
Like that, they kind of had it figured out by the time Nintendo was like, "Hey, you want to use Mario?" you know. I hate how Game Share works. That using it for Game of the Week because my main console, is the Splatoon one. No, it's the Animal Crossing one because I didn't want to bother losing all my hours. But Monster Hunter's on my Splatoon one because I didn't have enough storage, and honestly, I haven't needed the storage, so I didn't bother. So I just put it over there. And it's like, hey, you need to connect these if you want to use them. I'm like, but why? Alex had the same problem. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like game share. I miss the old system. Or just like a normal system. Just this is this is my account. These are my games. Let me play them without connecting the systems. I don't you know. I'm not. I'm gonna stop myself before I get into massive rant. Uh, I did Push Mania got hourly top score. That was fun. Been what else have I done? We as I mentioned earlier, we saw Thunderbolts. I played a bunch of Spaceship Earth's little games. Um, those are interesting. Um, they sure are games. I'm pretty sure.
Crazy work,
I'm
dog.
pretty sure the Mr. Bones guy is voiced by Rex from Toy Story, or like the maybe the principal from like Teacher's Pet. I don't. He sounded familiar. I couldn't place the exact actor though.
Mr. Bones
Um,
from what?
the game in Mission Space, or at not at Spaceship Earth.
Oh, I guess I wasn't with. Well, we already saw that Buck Strickland's in GTA.
That's that's also true. Alex is
Man,
like, hey, look at this. I'm like, that's crazy.
man,
That
he sounds
doesn't sound
really
right.
familiar.
I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Um, let's see. I played some golf with Jacob and them. Um, I think it's been a hot minute since I played golf before that. Uh, we got the shirts. We have the shirts.
Oh yeah, we sure do have the
We
shirts.
do.
Yeah, we got the shirts.
Oh yeah, brother.
Um, very nice. Um, honestly, I'm surprised at how fast they came in because I wasn't expecting them to like tomorrow.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are very nice. Um, what else we got going on? I think that's that seems to be it. Just based on the timing of things, I don't know. I just haven't been doing much. I'm
I'll
gonna
give
go
you
to the
some stuff
office
to
as
do. You
often
need
as
some
I
stuff
do.
to do?
No, I gotta organize. I gotta start
Crazy
organizing
work.
stuff. Just like
See how quick he changed up?
I've been looking up at I've been looking at places to move. Everything
It's-
fucking expensive.
yeah.
Holy shit, dude. They're all like, I've straight up seen some places that are like, we need 3 months rent. I'm like, no.
I need 3 balls.
There's one place I saw. It it was like 150 days on the market, right? For rent. Can you guess why? It the actual place did not look bad, but there's a reason that nobody was wanting to rent it. Very important reason in Florida.
Hmm.
It was
Gators.
leaky.
No,
Huh?
not
No air
from the pictures.
conditioning.
Close. No fans. No ceiling fans whatsoever in any room.
Uh,
I'm like,
Big
no. I'm like, you better charge like $1,000 for this place because it's gonna be like 800 in electric.
Now that I think about it, I don't have any ceiling fans in the house I'm moving into either, but my rent's only going to be $400, so I guess I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, see, there's a difference when it's like, even 'cause even after it becomes your own place, it's what, like
800.
1,000 maybe? Yeah. See, but fucking 800 for a nice ass house. Yeah. This was like at least 1,900 and Florida with no like no solar panels, no nothing to compensate for and it had a pool. So it's like,
Hmm.
okay, so where's the compensation for how much electric this house needs? Who
None.
knows? That's why it's fucking on the market for 150 days.
All right.
Yeah.
We need to. Oh
We
man,
need to get
we're
rolling.
burning time. Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise. I'm very happy we finally got around to playing this game.
Yeah, it's we bought that what in like August.
Dang, the memes are over.
I mean, like, yeah, they are over, but I had talked about this with you guys when we started playing it. I had really struggled to enjoy playing any Monster Hunter game since Monster Hunter 4, and it really bums me out to say that because I love Monster Hunter so much, and I used to love it so much more in high school than I do now. But playing Monster Hunter Rise with you guys was the first time I had had that kind of feeling again with Monster Hunter since then. So I literally even played a couple missions on my own outside of us playing, if you can believe it, which is weird. I haven't like had an itch to play Monster Hunter in forever. So I'm very glad we play this because now I can actually try to enjoy Monster Hunter games again and also play the game that I bought
Hell yeah.
forever ago and never played.
Yeah,
Knock one of those off the
Hell
list.
yeah.
for once. Yeah, no, I very much was enjoying playing with it. I'd It's so much rougher playing solo, especially against the bosses, you know? But like those little like the little 20 kill 20 enemies mission, I think that would be fun solo. But I one of the missions I did when I was, trying to get footage for Rise and Sunbreak for the Amiibo video was kill one of the bosses, and I'm like just punching, like I think I ran out of time, like honestly.
Sounds
'Cause
like you. I see. That's the
I
thing
think
with
that's a
Monster
skill
Hunter.
issue because
Yeah.
I think that's a skill issue because I have no problem fighting the bosses. What probably happened? Did you go to the tavern to do it, or did you go talk to the lady on the bench to do it?
I
We were in the canteen.
I went in the mission. Yeah, I went in the mission.
Gathering
Okay.
hub.
Because I'll tell
That
you
one.
right now, the canteen, the gathering hub, is
Those are
made
for
for
multiplayer.
yeah, and the lady on the
Yeah,
bench
okay.
is for single player.
I didn't
So if
talk
you're
to the
gonna
lady on
do
the bench.
yeah, if you're
I
gonna
I
do single
definitely
player,
talked to the one that
she
was in
will give
the
you the
thing.
missions. She will give you the missions that are geared for your level as a single player, like
Experience.
single player experience. She'll give you the correct missions. Like it'll start out with just kill 20 enemies, but then she'll start gradually moving up. Like, but for
That Okay, that's
most
probably
times
what
it's
it
like
is then. I think I
yeah.
did a multiplayer mission.
Because
I'm
what were
pretty
you trying
sure.
to kill?
One of the enemies in like the forest mountain area. I don't know the names of areas.
We're not gonna know
I was
anything
like,
enough
because
to discuss on your level, Kyle.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
say what
right.
like she'll probably have you go kill like a great Jagras or something
Kyle,
like that, like
I'll
a
tell
really
you what we
low
did
enemy,
multiple
really
times.
low level enemy.
Do you know what the bunny is? I assume you do.
The large
Like the
bunny.
giant bunny? We went and fought that like 5 times.
Giant bunny.
In like the snowy mountain.
The mountains no one returns from.
Oh yeah, what the fuck is that thing? Yeah, that bitch is ugly as hell too.
We
Yeah,
would have killed it on our
names are
first
hard.
try if Cooper didn't keep dying. Cooper picked a heavy bow gun and
died
just kept
3
dying
times, dude.
constantly.
Dude, y'all really should have had me there.
We tried,
We
brother.
told you to get it. You said no.
Dude!
You said you didn't
I
want to
don't
buy
wanna
the
have
$10 game.
Dude, why would I buy it again when I already have
You could have
it?
been there for emotional support and told us how to
Yeah.
do the stuff. You didn't have to play.
I
You
could-
could have just
you know
helped
what?
the brother
You know
out.
what? When are we playing again? I'll go buy it right now. When are we playing again?
I mean, look, buy
I mean,
buy
you're
it.
laughing, but I'm serious.
Dude, look, buy it.
Just
Like
buy
any
it
other
whenever.
multiplayer game, buy it while it's on sale, and then at some point we'll play it. Especially, relatively soon, unless Grant ends up like just
I'm
buried
gonna have to
under
learn
all
how
the
to
work
play it
of.
on a freaking controller, though.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
that's
gonna
not
make
hard,
any
obviously,
promises
but,
on my gaming availability. It's gonna be
no, I
sporadic.
get
2
that.
months.
I
Yeah,
suspect until
I get it. Yeah,
the end of July,
we all know that it's gonna be. I was like,
because
we all
Uh-huh.
know it's gonna be hard for you for a
Inconsistent.
while. So
I
yeah.
gotta be moved in
But
by the
that
21st, and I go on a week-long trip to the beach a week later. So basically August, beginning of August is when I'll be
So-
back to.
so busy.
Yeah.
I definitely want to play with y'all, but I know it's gonna be a minute
Yeah,
before that
the
might happen. So
the only problem is it has to be Switch because Alex's laptop can't handle it, and I honestly don't know if mine could.
yeah.
I was
It's fine.
looking at it. One, it's
I'll
not on
get it
sale
on
on PC,
Switch.
but if it does go on sale, I want it because I would like better graphics. But also, I hate that I have to choose between good graphics and using the amiibo I have.
Yeah.
It's
So
kind of a
what
bummer.
weapons did each of y'all play?
Sword and Shield.
Wait,
Sword
did
and
you
Shield?
were playing the
Is that
Sword
what
and
you said?
Shield?
Yeah, I consistently and only played that every mission.
I did Sword and Shield the first couple missions, and then I switched over to the Lance and Shield.
I did the
Okay.
light bow gun because Cooper was doing the heavy bow gun, and I was like, you know what? I'll experiment. I'll screw around with the bow gun.
And then Cooper
And
died a lot.
Cooper died. Also, I'm not good with the bow gun. That was just for fun. So after that, I switched. I normally played dual blades on 3 and 4,
Nice.
so that's what I went back to.
It's
Also, because
it's
I
kinda
got free
funny that-
amiibo gear that were dual blades, so they were pretty powerful.
It's kind of funny that none of us play the same weapon. Because I play.
Well, damn. I mean, there's
hammer
20 different
and-
weapons in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like I play hammer and switch axe, so I don't know. I just think it's funny.
I mean, I think that's like a thing about Monster Hunter. That's like a part of
you're
its
supposed
identity.
to not. Yeah.
Is that like there's a
It-
large variety in how you want to screw this pig.
It also actively helps you not to play the same weapon.
Yeah. Also, the menu clutter is high. Lots of menus, lots of tutorials. Why do I have to
Yeah.
confirm exiting pages?
I think you can turn that off.
You probably can, but
you
why is it
can,
turned
but
on?
it's
What
still-
kind of
it's still
feature
just-
is that?
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass that you do have to just. You have to go
The
through
tutorial.
so many.
There's a tutorial to turn it off. I
But-
guarantee it.
There's like that's less a complaint about Rise and more just a complaint about Monster Hunter because I remember being upset with
It's-
those menus back on 3 and 4
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
not.
It's
It's
just
not
been a
specifically
thing.
and it's been the same. It was the same in World as well, which is the most recent one I played before Rise. And I guarantee, because I want to get Wilds at some point. I guarantee when I get Wilds eventually, it'll be the same way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This
Yeah,
quite
I-
literally is Monster Hunter.
Dude, I am very much hoping they put Wilds on the Switch too. That way I can guarantee that I'll have something to actively be able to play it on. Because Watch, if my laptop can't handle Rise, it is not going to handle Wilds.
Yeah, probably not. They made Wilds.
So much beefier because they
Very-
didn't have to worry about the Switch.
Yeah. Well, they did have to worry about the Switch, but not in the same way.
They said,
Yeah,
we're not
they
going to
have
develop
to-
for the Wilds for the Switch.
They have to
Goodbye.
they have to worry about like future with the like Switch 2 and everything more so than they had to worry about
Yeah, but it's a different level.
Yeah, no, it is.
Don't have to worry about it as much. I enjoyed it. I think. Okay, so the problem Cooper was having, right, was that he did not like the bow guns, but he
That was all he
um
wanted to play though. He
that's
played something whenever
No,
he
he
was
played
playing with
he
me.
played
No, he played
multiple
Lance.
Yeah.
but did he switch to Lance?
He was hating on
Yes.
heavy weapons because he kept playing heavy weapons and then was upset that he moved slowly but wasn't doing any like heavy damage.
He
To
played
be fair,
something with
that's a
me
fair
that he
complaint.
actually really enjoyed, and I can't remember what it was.
He could not recall by the time we played, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
about right.
for the sake of time, go ahead and move on. Final rating.
Fun enough. I don't have a rating as.
I'll go with for this one in particular, like a 6.5. For Wild or for World, if you ever play World, definitely like an 8. I really like Monster Hunter games. Just being able to go in and kill these like giant dudes is really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably give Monster Hunter 4 an 8, but honestly, 3 is probably a 7, and so is like 6.5. I like 6 to 7. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not. This is my favorite game ever, but I
Yeah.
do have I actively am having an itch to go grind out some more monsters and stuff. And like Monster Hunter gets way too serious with the grinding, so I'm not gonna make it very long.
Yeah.
But at least for like the first 10 or 20 hours, it's very enjoyable.
That's the thing for me too. Is like I like playing Monster Hunter, but I don't like grinding that much. So I just go on and like kill shit, and then
Yeah,
don't worry
just
about
make your own game out of it.
anything else.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kill
I
shit and
mean,
don't worry about it.
that's kind of what we were doing, was because we picked the kill 20 enemies mission, and then we just went
Yeah.
and killed the boss enemies instead.
Nice.
And then we kill. Well, yeah, we. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say there. There's just a bunch of word vomit.
I'll give it a 7. Like, it's not, especially at this point, since there's newer Monster Hunters, it's kind of hard to like be like, yeah, you need to play this one, because like arguably the best version is a Switch one, just because it has exclusive content. But
It depends
Yeah,
on
but
who you
honestly-
are. If you don't care about the exclusive content, you buy PC because it performs better. If you do care about
Yeah,
exclusive content, you don't really have a choice.
The PC version is actually it runs so smooth.
oh, sure, because it's
Like,
so
Well,
granted-
we were talking about this actually. We really appreciate that the frame rate was prioritized on the Switch because if you get close to the screen and look, the graphics are oof.
horrendous.
But they did that to maintain a stable 60 FPS, which thank you, because this game would be unplayable the other way around.
yeah, look at
But like I barely noticed it.
Hyrule Warriors. Look at Hyrule Warriors, right? Like that, it's a pretty game in theory, but
but the frame rate matters
runs
so
like
much
gas.
more. So thank you, Capcom,
Yeah.
for prioritizing the right thing. It's okay that it looks a little ugly because it's very easy to forget.
small sacrifices. Honestly, though, I'm not surprised it runs better on PC, considering it was originally a Switch game. Like if it didn't run better on PC, that would be concerning, especially from a developer as accomplished as Capcom.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, onto the tidbits. Nomura says that there is a reason that his safer Sephiroth design for Magic the Gathering is different than the original game.
But he doesn't elaborate.
Okay.
He just says there is a
reason.
It's probably for part 3 of the remake trilogy.
Yeah, probably.
Since there should be like a good portion of within that game. I don't know. If you take like all the artwork for that character for Sephiroth, it like does all his different forms for Magic the Gathering, and they're all drawn by Nomura.
Square Enix confirms Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy. The entire trilogy is coming to Switch 2. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Although
Good.
it's much less exciting now because the Steam Deck's a thing. I really want to feel that feeling from the Switch One of like I can play this on the toilet for the first time, but now it's like, well, I guess I already could. And for me anyway, I already own the first two parts on PlayStation, so. But hey, that's cool. Final Fantasy, new Final Fantasy
I-
coming to Switch platforms.
I just hope they're not cloud
Integrate's
versions like
like-
Kingdom Hearts,
No, I think
but they're
Integrate's
like
already.
actual physical, right?
Yeah, Integrate's already, or Part 1 and Integrate already got
'cause
trailers
it's-
for Switch 2, I think.
I think it's releasing as Integrate.
Um,
So that's
Yeah.
exciting.
that is
Remake
very exciting.
Integrate Switch 2 game. Release date not announced, but it is got trailers as recent as 6 days ago from the Nintendo.
I'd be interested if it comes out on a proper physical, but I have a suspicion that that's going to be game key cards.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco is making its executive salaries more dependent on how they perform. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. Yeah, this is how we do business.
Let's fucking go.
Well, damn.
Everyone else could do that. We might be better off.
Yeah, like, cool, I'm glad Namco's doing it, but let's see Pfizer do it.
Let's see
Crazy
AT&T do it.
work.
Yeah. Tony Hawk wants a Tony Hawk's Underground remaster as well. Quote, I'll campaign all I can. Well, sorry, Tony Hawk. My heart's already broken. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 remaster is ruined, so.
Yeah,
Bro.
also, like, do I really care if he wants it when, like, 4 didn't actually get a remake? It's, like, a completely different game.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Tekken 8 replaces their entire balance team after disastrous Season 2 update. So they just
Interesting.
fired the whole team? I mean,
How bad?
they say
Bad was the
disastrous.
update?
Yeah, really. Did it just, like,
You-
nuke the servers?
You ever have an
Yes.
update so bad that everyone gets fired instead of just letting them fix it?
Well, you got to remember, Tekken 8 is one of those games that thrives on competitive. So just to completely destroy balance, which I guess is what they did in this update.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but, like-
for all intents and purposes, the Tekken community is the Smash community, just a different flavor.
With
Different flavor. But, like, firing everybody on the team is crazy, dude.
Okay, so
Like-
I found the Reddit link that I bet Alex used. Someone commented, said, someone TLDR me what was happening here. Season 1 was very linear and heavily favored oppressive offensive styles over defense. The more dedicated part of the community did not really like how this played out, and the devs responded saying, no worries. Season 2 will be our defensive update, and even had a showcase exploring the new changes. Everyone notices that they keep showing more offensive buffs and ask what's going on. You said it was going to be a defensive update. Bandai Namco responds, shut up, you haven't even played it yet. Update releases and doubles down on offensive gameplay with virtually no major defensive buffs in sight. Oh, so they just lied. They said it was going to be a defense update, and instead they just put out more offense stuff and did nothing that they said they were going to do, and then gaslit
Yeah.
everybody about it.
That
No,
sounds like
no.
Sounds like a very Tekken thing to do.
What did they
What-
think
what
the
do you
devs were going to do?
mean?
Like they were just going to not get caught being like, no,
Dude,
you're
like-
making all that up.
Like, that's crazy because, like, some, look, when people are pulling the patch notes and the actual files from the Switch, They don't think people are going to do that on a game on more platforms. Like that, we're just gonna lie to you.
Great strategy. Kazuya Kodaka, the co-director of 100 Line Academy, regarding porting the game to other platforms. If I can pay off my debt early and secure enough operating funds for the company, I'd love to get started right away, but right now we're still on the brink of going under.
Me too.
Fair.
Yeah, get
I
in
feel
line.
that.
Crazy work.
We're not working on more copies. We're trying to get out from under our debt.
Ori and the or the Ori studio, I guess, in Crisis. No Rest for the Wicked could be their final game. Why are they in Crisis? They're an Xbox dev. Oh, they're an Xbox dev.
That would do it.
The answer was right in front of me the whole time.
And then I realized.
Yeah, I guess Microsoft's like, well, one, Ori, while all the Ori games have been good and they've like reviewed well, after the first one, no one's really cared that much. Like,
So true.
Ori and
Yeah,
the
they were
Blind
fun, they
Forest was a
just weren't,
huge
like-
thing, and it was like so good, blah blah. And then Will o' the Wisp came out, and it was like trying to feed off that hype, but people just didn't get into it the same.
Will-O Wisp was fun. It just wasn't as good as Blind Forest.
Wasn't it also an Xbox exclusive at launch?
Probably.
Ori and the
Am I
Blind Forest was
remembering?
for sure.
Yeah, one of them was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because that was like one of the few things I had when I got an Xbox One. I remember. It was Ori and the Blind Forest, and it was Sunset Overdrive.
Dude, Sunset Overdrive is fucking peak.
It was like, and maybe there was some Forza, maybe Forza Motorsport 6. I don't know. Oh yeah, you can use mouse mode on the Switch 2 home screen.
Yeah.
Repeating what I said from the chat, I'll take things I never do for 500.
Like I said, it's like, okay, great. So I can go like this on my controller, and it'll move across the screen, or I can mouse over, on my fucking leg.
The only
It's
thing I
like,
could think of was like if I'm playing in the tabletop mode where each Joy-Con's in one hand, which I don't do very often, but like I did do that when I was on the plane this past week. If I was in a setting like that and I could just immediately put the Joy-Con down and use it, like there's no activation for mouse mode, it's just it works. Then I could
Maybe.
see myself using it in a corner case. But still
But, like,
not really,
it's
no.
again, it's just so inconvenient rather than just.
Yeah, like I'm already using the controller.
I'm gonna
not-
set it down. Like, okay, even if you go to the okay, let's say you're playing one of the new mouse games at Mario Party, right? You spent the $20 to get those. You press home while you're in it, and you're just mouse like, no, you're just gonna turn it slightly and use the joystick.
As long
Like,
as
it's-
the Switch 2 eShop isn't super laggy, I could see myself using it on like the eShop
Should-
maybe.
I think it'd be easier
I'm
if
interested in how it works on there, honestly.
Yeah,
I
guess
feel
we'll have to
like
wait and find out.
people game in bed or they game on the couch, and it looks like you need like a hard surface. I don't think most people have like those laptop things like Haley has.
And
With,
also, are
like-
you going to pull that out to use the mouse mode for 5 seconds?
Damn right I am. Check your privilege.
I mean,
Okay.
like, look,
All right.
like, arguably this mouse kind of has the same style, right? And I can use it on the couch just fine.
Said by
Like,
bro who is not getting the Switch 2.
I- I'm interested in how it's going to work. Like, honestly.
Well, we'll have to revisit this in a month then.
Yeah. So, dude, we're so close.
Shuhei Yoshida says that rising game prices were inevitable. Okay, Thanos. Nintendo surpasses $100 billion market cap for the first time, closing in on fast retailing.
Interesting. Interesting.
So they're making money. Shocker. Persona series has sold 3.6 million copies since April 2024. That's pretty good. Persona seems doing well.
Yep.
Atlas teasing PlayStation X or
Nope. Persona 5.
5X.
Yeah.
Oh no, I might need glasses. Uh-oh. Oh shit. I'll deal with that tomorrow. So yeah, Persona 5X global launch. Speaking of Persona.
They
And
do love them some Persona 5.
Pokemon Sword and Shield OSTs are now available on Nintendo Music.
Hooray!
Woo.
Yeah, that had been posted like 13 minutes when I added it to the sheet. And now we're like 2 hours after that.
Old but still interesting tidbit of the week. In Pokemon Platinum, if you have 2 shiny Pokemon with the same cry length, the game will soft lock and you'll have to reset it. Like in your party?
No, so like like when Gardenia joined, is it Gardenia? The green hair girl with the brain. Or like the Lucario guy. When they join you and you can do double battles in those areas, if you end up with 2 shiny Pokemon that have the same cry length, the game just stops. It just crashes, essentially.
Interesting.
But they're not supposed to have shinies, right?
No, not them. Like the random encounters. Because somebody posted it and like, hey, look at look at what happened. And then like a couple days later, someone else posted it and everyone's like, this is fucking bullshit. You did not have this happen to you. And I'm like, interesting.
Onto the rumors. Stellar Blade Complete Edition will launch on PC and PS5 on June 11th. PlayStation YouTube channel accidentally uploaded this early, so this is only kind of a rumor.
Yeah. It's rumored because it's not. You can't watch it. Not real.
GTA 4 port to the PlayStation 4 and Switch might be coming later this year, according to Tez2. The port has been in development for a year now. Might be a similar situation to the RDR1 port back in 2023. Okay, I'll take that, but obviously we're on thin ice after the whole GTA trilogy situation.
Very thin ice.
Yeah, by thin ice I mean no ice because I still haven't bought that game because why the hell would I? And it sucks because I want a GTA 3, man. So like, I don't know.
Didn't they put in some repairs to it?
They did, but
yeah, but like they
I don't.
fucked it. It's not like they're doing No Man's Sky where they're actually like trying to fix it. They they're like
Yeah, like it runs.
here you go.
They updated it so it's not BS and you can play it, but like it still sucks. It's not what people thought it
It's
was
not
going to
what was
be,
promised,
and it's
yeah.
definitely not what people wanted it to be. So like,
Yeah,
if
like-
they do the port like RDR1, then I'm sure it'll be fine. But I don't know. Just I have my reservations.
it's kind of like how Nintendo did Pikmin HD, right? Like if they promoted it like that, fine. You know what you're getting. It's a slightly upscaled port. But maybe don't call it a remaster and then go, this is a port, actually. Fuck you.
I'm starting to
Wasn't
remember
what?
the problem. There was like one of the big problems is they started it off from the mobile version. These games they didn't start with.
Yeah, that's a part of it. I think the trilogy might have used the mobile ports as the base game instead of the originals, but that's only part of the problem.
It's kind of like when Final Fantasy 15 came to Switch.
Yeah.
No, but
Shitty
they at least
sprites.
called it the
They did call it
mobile version.
Pocket. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Um,
Bruh.
Switch 2
Gay.
customs data lists that apparently each one costs about $338 per unit to manufacture, pre-shipping, tax, anything else, etc. And basically that means it's being sold at a loss in Japan, but at a slight profit everywhere else.
And people will read that and go, Nintendo should be charging less.
Well, they're not going to charge us unless you're Japanese. You call that racist if you want, but that's just kind of how they roll. So sucks you're not Japanese, I guess.
Yeah, go learn
Go
Japanese and
learn
live in
Japanese and
Japan.
buy a Japanese exclusive edition of the system and learn to read Japanese because that's the only game
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
know
playing
what?
on it.
You go live in Japan and you
Mhm.
get societally oppressed every day of your life for 40 years and learn Japan, and then you can have your Switch 2 for $150 less.
Mhm.
Not saying I hate Japan, love Japan, but let's be real, we know what's going on over there.
Real.
Mouse support on Nintendo's SNES NSO app received a lot of interesting updates last year, possibly to prepare for SNES mouse games playable with the Switch 2 mouse. If Nintendo doesn't do that, that's just an opportunity left on the table.
Look,
That's such an easy
honestly, the fact
marketing
that they
thing.
haven't even announced what it's the Mario Paint. That was one of the mouse games for SNES, right?
Yeah, I mean that's like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mouse game for SNES.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know. I don't know about that. The mouse game for SNES was Civ 1, bro.
No, it was
I
actually
will
Sim
suck Sid
Ant.
Meier's
It
dick
was
right
Sim
now.
Ant.
No, no. I'm sucking Sid Meier's dick.
What does that have to do with the Super Nintendo?
Oh, I think you know.
Do I?
Or yeah, there was a lot of SimCity was on the SNES. They put so many sim games on the SNES because they tried to make the SNES a PC when it clearly does not have the power to do that. But anyway, yeah, they should. I mean, it's so easy to do. Why not? Why not do that? It's an easy thing to market for Switch Online.
The fact that they haven't already marketed it is crazy, dude.
And they probably don't want to. They want to let GameCube
Over.
have its time. They'll give it a couple weeks, and then they'll be like, "Hey,
Speaking of, I think by the time the podcast runs, the GameCube controller will be eligible for anybody to play or to buy, and not just you have to order a Switch 2 from Nintendo to get it.
New details of the canceled Ultimate Spider-Man 2 game have been leaked. Wolverine was apparently set to return. Doctor Doom was going to have a role in the game. Daredevil and the Hand were also set to appear. Green Goblin was going to be a second playable character. Kitty Pryde and Shadowcat were set to have a supporting role. And the story was loosely based on the Ultimate Spider-Man Death of a Goblin comic book. Fun facts.
Nice.
Yeah, that's essentially what it will be since it will never released.
Arc
Oh,
System.
it also leaked with concept art.
Okay. Arc System Works leaks allegedly confirm Nintendo is only offering game key cards or 64 GB cards for Switch 2 physicals. I have seen that rumor. It sure does make sense why basically every game coming out physically for Switch 2 right now that's not first party is a key card.
Yeah, that makes much more sense why a 3DS game is key card only.
I could understand it from Nintendo's perspective, though. The Switch one sold like 500,000 copies physically, or something, 5 million, something like that. I don't remember. But like, for every one, it's like 1/5 is. It was like split between 5 different card sizes. And it doesn't feel like they ever got that price down. So with one, or I guess 2 options, but one, it's really more just one option.
Yeah, one of them's literally just, there's probably like a gig on there, just be like, this is the key card.
Yeah, it's really hard to drive down the price of silicon tech when it's proprietary. And this is the consequence of that. And it's also that thing where, like, you do something one way thinking this is how everybody's going to do it, and then that's just not the case. I think Nintendo's got that mindset a little bit of, like, they make all their games physically regardless of the price because it's like a principle thing. And they're like, everybody should do this like us because we care about video games. But in the real world, that's not how that works.
No,
And nobody else is really going to do that unless they also, and like you can tell when they do care because they'll do it anyway, even when it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But just most companies would rather see better money numbers than that. So.
Especially Square. Square is absolutely going to go cheapest option possible.
Sony only sells one disc option for the PS5. It's only 100 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I guess
they gotta give me some options here.
It's probably all. I mean, the overhead of making multiple different sizes is probably costing them more money than it's worth, and that's probably why Sony does the same thing. Like, it's probably most cost effective to just make one size.
And if they don't want it, digital.
And the consequence is that one size has to be big because it needs to be one size fits all, and that just drives up the base price.
And companies go,
blah blah, economics, blah blah, sucks. Yeah.
We'll probably, I feel like we'll see possibly more physical games as the ones just in a few years, as the ones where the 64 gigabyte goes down
cheaper.
From only having to use the one size instead of 5.
Yeah. And also, I bet they'll probably configure the cheaper cards to be made in the Switch 2 form factor at some point, but they're not doing that immediately because they're obviously going to be making Switch 1 games for a while longer. Yeah. So they don't want to retool all that stuff until they're done with Switch 1. But, oh well.
We'll see.
Several hours of footage of Retro Studios' canceled titled Harmony was posted online. That's already been blocked by Nintendo, but I saw it.
You saw the several hours version?
Oh no, but no, I saw the clip of this game. We talked about this once before, didn't
we?
Yeah. And it's a gigantic nothing burger.
Yeah, so, it's like this sure is a game, which I think is what we said last time as well.
Yeah, it's like it's development footage, but this is the equivalent of some 21-year-old dicking around in Unity. Like,
look, Grant, did you see the new Scott the Woz?
Yes.
Bethesda's first game, but football, massive air quotes, football. Yeah,
I look at this.
Same vibe.
I look at this and I'm thinking, 16 games later, they're gonna make a Pokemon Diamond and Pearl sort of vibe. Let's see. Yuji Horii is contemplating a remake of Chrono Trigger. Quote, yes, I want to do something. Well, do it.
Please.
Oh, that was a game I forgot. Sea of Stars. I'm playing Sea of Stars, speaking of Chrono Trigger.
I think the best way to do Chrono Trigger, I know some people make this, would be just re-release it, and then if you want to do a new something, Final Fantasy remake style for 7.
Oh, remind me to. I've got something to send y'all on Instagram after this. I saw a new style that they're remaking a Pokemon game in this new like 2D style as like a fan project. Can't wait to watch that get canceled. But until then, it's it's like HD 2D but different. I'll have to show y'all. It's pretty unique.
Yeah. Oh, you're definitely gonna listen to that. But all you have to do is go. No. This isn't Pokemon Soul Silver. This is Pokemon
Soul Silver.
Golden.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know what? That's better because I was like
Wow.
Golden Heart. I'm like, wait, no, there's already a Heart Gold.
Pokemon
Putting those
Holden
words in
Gart.
there.
What?
Okay,
What?
last rumor. Dead by Daylight Cross Witcher was posted accidentally early by IGN, and it features Geralt.
Let's see.
Okay, that could be really cool, actually.
Yeah, it could. All right, finishing topic. What's your favorite Metroidvania? To round out our discussion of 2D platformers from last week.
Yes.
I know my answer.
Well, I I kind of said a Metroidvania last week. Well, not kinda. I just did say a Metroidvania last week, but I don't think that's gonna be my answer for this week because I feel like it's kind of lame to have two in a row that are the same answer.
Hollow Knight was your answer last
Um,
week, right?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was kind of a toss up with Hollow Knight and Celeste. I love both of those games, but I
Yeah.
believe I said Hollow Knight. Um,
You did
actually though,
you did say Hollow Knight, yeah.
yeah, I think that what I'm gonna go with for favorite Metroidvania, which is one that I don't think any of y'all have played. I don't think is Gunbrella.
I've heard of it,
I've
but I've never played it.
I've
yeah.
definitely talked about it on the show
mean,
before.
That might be
It
where
is
I've heard it from because I've heard that
Yeah,
name
that's
too.
so it is so good. I'm not even kidding y'all. You have to play it. You have to. Yeah, it's
Well,
a
I
must.
just wish listed it. Oh yeah, it's made by Devolver, so I'm
It's
sure it's pretty
Devolver.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's made by Devolver. The story, immaculate. The gameplay, immaculate. It is even the graphics, like they're not amazing graphics, but they just fit so well.
They
Like,
do what they need to do.
yes, dude, it is so good. It is such a good, and like I think I finished, yeah, I finished the entirety of the story mode in 10 hours. Like I grinded the fuck out of that game just to play it cuz I literally I started playing and I could not put it down. Like it was that good. Like I had to pry myself away from the monitor in order to
Well,
like go do something else. Um I would definitely recommend
wish listed.
that.
Um, you know, I hate to give. I don't know why I hate to give a Metroid answer, even though it's called
Mine's a
One of
Metroidvania.
the
Metroid
two.
answer.
Yeah, one of the two.
I don't know. I like to be
Mine will.
different. I like to be contrarian, but to be honest, I think I'm probably gonna go with Metroid Fusion. I
Mm,
really want to say Dread because even though it took me a while to go back and actually beat Dread, Metroid Dread was super awesome and I got pretty addicted to it. But Fusion is, I think, the most unique. It's definitely not the most loved out of the Metroid series, but I think it's
No,
got
it
its.
is. It was before Dread came out.
I don't know. It seemed pretty controversial to me. Like it was, because it was a lot more linear. Like it was easier.
I guess that's why. Yeah, you're right that on that idea, but it had the because like Super's the most open, but I think Fusion beat it out by on a gameplay style
That
in a lot of
makes
people's.
that makes sense. Um, but
Because a lot of
yeah,
people don't like how floaty Super is nowadays.
I can appreciate games being open and offhands to encourage you to explore, but I think Metroid Fusion is a great way to get into the series, and I gotta you guys know I'm a sucker for the GBA. Um, the atmosphere is great. all the merging stuff, the mechanics with like collecting SAX globs and watching the SAX Metroid walk around and like you get stuck in a corner and then all of a sudden everything gets scary and it like you watch it patrol. I don't know. It's Metroid Dread scared me a lot more, but that's just because it's a newer game that's a lot more immersive. You know, it's a lot easier to pull yourself out of a thing you're playing on a console with a 2-inch screen. But it really is pretty eerie sitting in there watching that other Samus walk around that could, I don't know, give you a little Resident Evil vibe almost. So I think I'm gonna go with Metroid Fusion.
Well, I guess I'll go then. Mine's Dread.
Thank you.
Fair
I
enough,
appreciate
fair
that. Very good answer.
I knew that last week. I was like, oh, what do I want to do? 2D platformers. And a part of me's like, Dread, Dread, Dread. And I was like, but I have to save that for MetroidVania's.
True.
Dread is amazing. And the boss fight is still so good. It's fun to do. It's hard, but it's so good.
Yeah, Dread really is incredible. So I'm very glad you said that because I felt bad. I felt bad having to pick one or the other because I like them both so much.
No, you could realistically Dread, Fusion, or Zero Mission are probably the best to start off with at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
The original one's way too confusing. Super Metroid wouldn't be, or Samus Returns, not Return of Samus, not the Game Boy one. Wouldn't be terrible, but it's a DS or 3DS game.
So you have to deal
So
with
not
that.
not the worst option, but if it gets the port, would definitely support it more being the choice. Super's a bit floaty. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, the first two games are an NES game without a map and a Game Boy game.
Period.
That, yeah, why would you not just play the better version of the Game Boy game?
Yeah.
No, but I still think about that Dread boss fight. It's so good.
Really is.
It's really hard, but you feel good beating it.
All right, Cameron.
Okay, so this one, are honestly like of all the genres we regularly talk about, I feel like Metroidvania is one I don't have a ton of experience with somehow. Uh, I don't know how, especially because Alex has played Metroid for years. We have so many of them, and I'm just like, I don't know how I never got around to playing them. So I'm gonna go with Metroid Prime because that's one I've actually beaten. Like I've played others. I have Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, like the the backer edition of it. It's like I backed. Did I play it a little bit? Like I played it a little bit, but I didn't play it a lot.
I think
So I'm
everybody
just like,
has at least one genre that they
it's just like
they like in their
not
head and they
foreign.
want to be a part of, but every time they try, it just does not work.
It's like because I think I've only finished two of them, and it's Metroid Prime and
Zero
the
Mission.
Zero Mission. Yeah,
I
that's
thought you
it. Those
beat
are the
Dread.
only. No, I started Dread, so that I could get footage for the amiibo video.
Ah, I
I
see.
mean,
We have it down here. I need to play it.
I guess
need to play it. I
that's me
might.
for the other half of the Metroidvanias. I've played a lot of the Metroid games. I own like every Castlevania game, but I don't think I've played more than a few minutes of any Castlevania game. Like a couple hours, maybe.
Funny enough, the one I've played the most is the original Castlevania on NES. Because Mayo had that with
Crazy
his
work.
NES, and he knew it a lot. And like now, it's kind of nostalgic for me. Obviously, our NES nostalgia is not the same as 10 years older people NES nostalgia, but
Yeah.
the music's very catchy, and like once you figure out the
Yeah.
controls, in original Castlevania, it's mostly just timing. So like it's a little frustrating at first, but that's just because the controls are unconventional. And once you figure them out, it's really pretty good. I've tried playing Symphony of the Night. Never made it that far. I've tried playing
That's
Aria
That's
of
the most
Sorrow.
loved one, right?
Yeah, that's like the
Symphony's the one I always hear about.
That's the one I think I've also put the most time into, and I was having fun, but I'm like, but it couldn't just fully catch my interest, if that makes sense.
yeah. I feel you. I was the same way, and like I thought I was gonna get hooked on it because I love the intro to that game, but it didn't stick. I've tried playing Aria of Sorrow. And honestly, I probably should give more time to that game. I don't think I really gave it a proper shot. Um, but yeah, I haven't really played much Castlevania either.
Yeah, it's like it's not that I don't want to. It's just like I never I never do. Like I don't know. It's I wait. Look, this is the whole point of download station. It's to give us
To
an
make you play
opportunity.
it.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to play games that we normally don't. I'm actually
So it
looking
sounds like we
for.
need to do a Castlevania before too long. We need to play a
Yeah, I'm actually.
Castlevania
I'm
game.
actually down. That'd be so fun.
Uh,
You
Castlevania
gotta
Legends
play.
seems to be the only one on NSO right now. Game Boy. Um,
They're old games. People have access. I own the vast majority of them, except the newest re-release collection. I think I don't own where they went. Here's all the DS games. I didn't buy that. Yeah, it's too expensive.
Castlevania Advance Collection's been out for several years now. I bet we could find that on sale.
I do own that. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
DS
me
one. I
me
don't.
too.
yeah, we're gonna figure something out because we like that feels like the whole point.
Well, hey, you heard it
You
here
know,
first, folks. We're gonna play Castlevania sometime.
eventually.
Yeah,
It's,
Dominus collection. I don't own.
I'll add it to the list. It's unfortunate that Cooper's not here. I would like to get his answer.
Yeah.
We'll get it,
The fact that he
and we'll
never
make him
joined is
give
kind
it
of gay.
next week.
Yeah, we'll have to
Kind
revisit.
of homosexual that he never joined.
I really hope he listens to this episode, dude.
All the way through, all the way through. It'd be so funny. Yeah, let me
Has
go
to get to
ahead
the very
and,
end to hear the gay joke. All right, well, that's
Hell
gonna
yeah, he does.
wrap this episode up for us here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please share us with a friend. We post every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.com/StormwindGames. Anywhere that you get your podcasts, you can find us. Add us on Twitter at AllNightGamers with a K. Let us know what's your favorite Metroidvania. Have you even played Castlevania? Let us know.
yeah. Are you like us? So you're like, yeah, Metroidvania, and then you don't play half the Vania, the
You
Vania
don't,
part.
yeah, you don't really touch the Vania, just the Metroid. And what do you think about Monster Hunter Rise too? Let us know. And we'll be back next week as always for more gaming news, talk, and discussion. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna get a habit of reading this eventually without having to stutter first. Thanks for listening. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We love you all to death. See you next week. Bye bye.
I
Bye.
Bye.